What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the possibility of getting a March 2020 Nintendo Direct. Now I know exactly what you guys are thinking. Aero, another Nintendo Direct video. You made one back in January and we didn't get a Direct. You made one in February, we didn't get a Direct, and now here we are in March and you're doing the same thing again. And I can't lie, it is the same thing, but the thing about this video is that I don't really want to talk to you guys more about the possibility of getting a Nintendo Direct, but rather the other side of the coin, which is why. Why are we not getting a Nintendo Direct so far this year? Why hasn't there really been any big announcements in terms of Nintendo Switch games? And so talking on Twitter and looking online, it seems like that there are 6 theories that people have as to why we haven't been getting a Nintendo Direct this year. And in this video, I kind of want to just go through every theory with you guys and talk about why people believe that that's why we haven't been getting a Direct, and then give you guys my thoughts on which one I believe, and then you guys can let me know down below in the comments which one you guys think is the most likely one out of all of these. Now I did say that there was a small thing about the possibility of getting a March 2020 Nintendo Direct, and so real fast, the thing about this was that somebody discovered that on the Nintendo Direct playlist on YouTube, there was a new private video that was added last week. It was added on like March 4th or March 5th, depending on your time zone. And so the last time that this happened, actually back in February, where there was a new like playlist that was updated with like the Nintendo Direct stuff, and there was a new video that was added, we actually ended up getting an Animal Crossing Direct that happened a week later. And so because this happened on March 4th or March 5th, that's leading people to think that maybe we could be getting a Nintendo Direct this week, which could happen on the 12th or the 11th. Now, does this mean that a Direct is confirmed for this week? Not at all. Just because one time this ended up becoming an Animal Crossing Direct, it doesn't mean that just because there's a new private video now that a Nintendo Direct is confirmed for this week. It could very well just be something that they're testing or an old video or something like that. So I wouldn't go out and cancel work or cancel school or anything and say that a Direct is 100% happening this week, but it's just something interesting to keep in the back of your head. And so that's really the rumor stuff so far about the possibility of a March Direct, but now I want to talk to you guys about the 6 theories that people have as to why we haven't been getting a Nintendo Direct this year. Alright, so the first theory that we have as to why we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct so far is that it's just Nintendo being Nintendo. So I think that we can all agree that Nintendo is a pretty special company. They like to do their own thing and don't really follow a lot with what other people are doing. And so a lot of people just think that it's a Nintendo being Nintendo right now. They're just doing their own thing and they don't really have to give us a Direct right now. They don't really need to. There's no reason for them to. And they'll just do whatever they want and give us a Direct whenever they feel like it. There's no reason to even expect one to happen right now. Now, I can understand where people with this thought process are coming from, but the thing is, Nintendo is actually a very carefully calculated company. They plan things very accordingly and very perfectly, like exactly when to reveal a game so that there's only a couple of months until when it comes out. They plan everything like really well, and so while they don't follow patterns exactly, they do have a good idea of like what to do at what time. Like a good example of this is like for the last 3 years, we've always had a September Nintendo Direct. There was one that happened in 2017, there was one that happened in 2018, and there was one that happened last year in 2019. So there's a good chance to predict that there's probably going to be a September Direct again this year, but of course that's not confirmed, but just according to what they've done in the past, it makes sense for them to do it again. And so going by what Nintendo has done in the past, they have given us January Directs before, they've given us a February one last year, we had a March Direct that happened in 2018, so they do like to show us some of the games that are going to be coming out that year pretty early into the new year, and so that's why a lot of people have been just anticipating a Nintendo Direct to happen this year for 2020. Now the second theory that people have is that Nintendo just actually has a weak 2020 lineup. They just don't have that many big games coming out this year for them to show, and that's why we don't have a Nintendo Direct so far, is because they just don't have anything. And this is also one that I just don't believe at all. Like if we're going off of just what has been officially talked about for 2020, then Nintendo's 2020 lineup right now would be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, No More Heroes 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass DLC, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass 2 DLC, and Bravely Default 2. So those would be like the only big things for 2020 that have been confirmed, and there is no way that this is all they have for 2020. Like if this is all they had as their lineup, this is a very weak lineup, and it's just not true. There's no way that this is all that they have for this year. There has to be like a big game coming out in the summer that's going to be very exciting for people. There's got to be like a really big banging game for the holidays so that people go out and buy a Nintendo Switch to play it, so that kids are asking for a Nintendo Switch for Christmas or Hanukkah and the holidays. There's got to be some big games coming, so I don't believe this one at all. Now, the third theory that I've been seeing people talk about is because of the coronavirus. Now, the coronavirus, of course, is a very serious situation. It is very unfortunate that a lot of people are getting affected by this virus, and so it has been impacting a lot of businesses as well. And so people just think that Nintendo is probably getting impacted by this. It's probably becoming a big problem for them, and because of that, it's pushing back a lot of their announcements and things that they have planned for the year. Now, this could very well be true, but I just feel that if this was the reason, that Nintendo would have definitely put out some type of statement or explained about this. Like, they wouldn't have just left us in the dark. I'm sure that they would have put out some type of statement or something and said, like, to all our Nintendo consumers, unfortunately, because of the coronavirus impacting so many Nintendo employees, a lot of our scheduled business activities and scheduled announcements for this year have to be unfortunately delayed until a lot of our situations here are better. We hope that you understand. Sorry for the inconvenience. They would have definitely talked about it or mentioned something like this instead of just leaving us in the dark and not giving us anything. And actually in 2018, a good example of this was that there was going to be a Nintendo Direct in 2018 on September 6th. And unfortunately what happened was, I think overnight there was like a big earthquake that happened in Japan. And because of that, Nintendo had to cancel that Nintendo Direct. But they put out a statement saying, like, because of what has happened, we unfortunately have to delay this Nintendo Direct. We hope that you guys can understand. And of course, nobody had a problem with it. Everybody was understanding. We understand, like, you know, it's a big important situation. Of course, you got to make sure everybody's safe and everyone is well before you give us some announcements like this. So everybody was fine, but they put out a statement talking about what the situation was, and I really do feel that if this was the same thing with the coronavirus, they would have probably said something about it. Alright, so the fourth theory that people have as to why we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct is that they're waiting for what the other competitors do with PlayStation and Xbox. Now, I'm a PlayStation fan and a Nintendo fan, so I'm kind of aware about this, but in case some of you guys don't really follow PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 is going to be coming out this year, but PlayStation so far has not talked anything about their next new generation system. We know that it's coming out this year, but we really don't even know what it looks like yet. They haven't officially revealed it. And so it's actually kind of funny, I tweeted about this a couple days ago, but the state of the PlayStation community as well as the Nintendo community is kind of the same, because anytime Nintendo tweets anything out, people just respond with, give us a Nintendo Direct, give us a Nintendo Direct, and then anytime PlayStation tweets anything, they get responses with a whole bunch of people saying, show us the PS5, reveal the PlayStation 5. It's just funny how both of those communities are exactly in the same situation. But going off of that, that is what some people believe as to why we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct. Some people just think that if Nintendo did give us a Direct and revealed a bunch of games, but then a couple days later the PlayStation 5 was revealed, people would just forget about what Nintendo showed and start talking about the PS5, and the other way around, where if they had a PS5 reveal and they talked about the PS5, and then Nintendo came a couple days later and had a really big Direct with some amazing games, people would forget about the PlayStation 5 and only start talking about that. And so with this theory also, I just can't get behind it. We know that Nintendo is a pretty special company. They like to do their own thing. There's just no way that I feel that they're waiting for the PlayStation 5 to be announced, or like that they're waiting for what their competitors are doing until they give us their information. Like, that's just not something that Nintendo would do. Like, they've talked about this in the past. And like the best example of this was one of the most anticipated games a couple years ago that people were looking really forward to was Red Dead Redemption 2. And the day that we were supposed to be getting a lot of news for that game, like a big trailer and stuff, that's the day that Nintendo decided to reveal their next new generation system, the NX. Like, that's the day that we got that trailer for the NX that revealed it. So Nintendo doesn't care at all what the other competitors are doing. They'll do whatever they want on whatever day. Now, the fifth theory is that they want to give some of the big releases some more launch space, and so that's why they're not really talking about any more new games or giving us a Direct. So like, for example, we know that one of the big games that's going to be coming out this month in the month of March for the Nintendo Switch is Animal Crossing New Horizons, and we know that if you look at like Nintendo's tweets right now, a lot of their tweets have been about Animal Crossing. They're really hyping up that game, and so some people just believe that because of that reason, that's why we're not going to be getting a Direct or anything new about any more new games until after Animal Crossing comes out, after they make sure that a ton of people buy it. Once all the Animal Crossing stuff kind of starts to die down and we're a couple weeks after launch, that's when they'll give us a Direct with some new information. Now, this theory I can kind of understand, but at the same time, there's been so many examples of when Nintendo has revealed big games after some other big games have already been confirmed. Like, they revealed Super Mario Odyssey coming out for the Switch right after Breath of the Wild was confirmed to be a launch title. They revealed Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out for the Switch in 2019 right after the Link's Awakening remake was announced as a big game as well. So the thing is, like, they've done this in the past, so I really don't feel like that just because of Animal Crossing coming out that they're holding back on a lot of their other big games. They already know that Animal Crossing is going to sell really well. A lot of the people who are confident in Animal Crossing are going to buy it either way, so it's not like that some people are going to be like, oh, I'm not going to buy Animal Crossing anymore because they revealed this other really big game. And finally, the last theory that we have as to why we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct, and really the one that I believe the most as well, is that they're just waiting until they have a lot of new information and want to give us a big presentation. See, Nintendo Directs can really only happen once they have new first-party trailers, once they have some third-party stuff, and so I feel like what could be happening right now is that they're just waiting for a lot of other stuff to come, and once they have a lot of stuff from third parties as well as first parties, they'll be able to put that all together into one big presentation. So that's also another thing that some people don't like, is that we kind of have to wait until there's a lot of information to put together into a Nintendo Direct so that we can actually have one, instead of just having like little mini Nintendo Directs scattered throughout the year. But the thing is, if we had it that way, then maybe not every presentation could be very exciting. Some of them could just be very filler, and so that's why I feel like that they're just waiting until that they have a lot of information and want to give us a really awesome presentation. And so yeah, there you go guys, those are all the theories that people have as to why we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct so far, as well as the possibility of getting a March 2020 Nintendo Direct because of a video update on the YouTube playlist. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of all this. Which theory do you guys think is the most likely one? Which one do you guys believe in? Do you have another theory of your own that you think? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.